why I care about making a massive impact online. And I wanted to talk about, one of the stories for me that I lived through, and kind of talk through an experience. So Amy, this was a few years ago. Amy and I, we went down to Nashville, Tennessee. Beautiful place, wonderful place if you ever get a chance. It's an awesome town, really fun place to go. And so we went there for this health conference. And so there was, a few different days of speakers talking about, how to be healthy and things like that, and different products you can use. And anyways, when I was there, I remember going because I was really excited to be with Amy. It wasn't so much with health. I didn't really care too much about it. I felt like I was doing okay in that regard. But I was like, it'd be fun to be able to go with Amy. And so I was really excited to go there, mainly for that, but I wasn't really thinking I'd get much out of like the health part of it, So it's interesting though, like as I attended and I went to some of the different days, I started to, because I was still going to be working some of the time there. So I'd bring my laptop and then be able to do some work. And so, I noticed as the events went on, the different days went on, as people were speaking and things, getting on stage, then I noticed like my computer was coming out less and less. I was kind of like, oh, like this is kind of good. I like what I'm hearing things. And so I remember this guy that got up on stage, and his name was, I think his last name is Plant. And so anyways, he gets up on stage and he just has this like bow tie that he's wearing, kind of a little quirky, but he has 4 kids. And I think at the time we had 4 kids. And so I started kind of relating to this guy that I'd really never met before, but I started hearing him talk and I was like getting more intrigued. We went to the same college and things like that. And so I was like, this is interesting. Like I'm kind of intrigued in what this guy's going to talk about. He talked about how he's a scientist and he knows all the inner workings of that type of stuff, which is like, that's cool. But like the thing that really got me is he started to talk about how like obesity in kids, especially in the US, is so high, and that like they're just not getting the nutrition that they need, and went on to share all these different stats. And as he started to talk, it's like I envisioned him being up on the stage and having like fire inside of his heart. Like he had this message that he wanted to get out. He wanted to share it. And so he was there talking, and people started to kind of react, right? They're like, oh man, this is really powerful. And then I noticed that I did too. Like I start to feel that fire inside too. I was like, man, I need to do better as a dad. I need to inspire my kids to do better. I need to eat better so that I can help them. And then I start looking around and seeing that a lot of people are really resonating with what he's talking about. And that was one of the first times I ever thought, wow, like, after this conference, like maybe I actually want to speak on stage. I know a lot of people are like, oh, why would you ever want to do that? But, it's just like having that experience where I felt that in my heart. And it's still something I remember. It's been like almost 3 years now, I think, since I was there. But like, I still remember how I felt at that time. And so it's like, wow, this is really powerful. There's something to this. And so that's really what kind of got me down the route of, maybe speaking at events, and then really realizing that hosting events is super powerful, because you can relay that information and be able to really make an impact on lives. And so that was one of the first times I ever really realized that that's what I want to do. And that's what I want to be able to help other people with. And then I noticed too, because again, I thought at first maybe it'd be more just like speaking on stages, and I still want to do more of that. But really, as I was going down that route, I ran into the idea of running your own event. And so that's really what got me started on that journey, to go and understand that it's really powerful when you can put together an event, and it's not as hard as a lot of people may think it is. I was chatting with someone on Instagram the other day. They're saying, oh man, I have this awesome idea for this, conference that I want to put on, and probably would take like a few years. Like I won't do it for a few years. And, I kind of like wondered, well, why would you wait that long? And just like, well, I guess I just hadn't really thought I could do it before. Right. And so we kind of got chatting, and it's something that, like, I think what's hard is, the conference that I was at, it's a massive event. There's probably millions of dollars spent there, because all the people there, the DJs and all the workers that are there, and just like the venue, just everything, it's probably really expensive. However, that's just, they have a ton of people there. And so it makes sense. But, I think sometimes we may see these massive events and we're like, oh, like I can't really do that. My first live event, we had 6 people that registered for it. And so it's like, but it was still super impactful, and everyone walked away with like, hey, this is amazing. This is really good. And so, it's just, that's what's really fun, is I get to help people with that, to be like, you know what, you can do this. Like you can actually make this happen. There's so many different ways. that you can do that with events. And that's why I love, talking about events, and I love helping people with them because they are so powerful. And it's a really amazing way to have impact and to bring in income as well. Like, it's super powerful. And to be honest, I don't know of a better way to do that. Like, then, there's people may say, oh, well, like running ads to some sort of website or funnel, like that's going to do it. And it's like, well, okay, so that can get you traffic. But like, when you go through a website or a funnel, do you ever feel like your life was changed? Do you feel like there's a fire inside you that, oh man, I want to like do this? Like, most of the time you kind of feel like, I'm not sure if I should have bought that, or yes, I'm glad I did, and I'm excited to go and do that. But it's not like you like really change through that. And the course is a kind of similar thing. You can still be impacted, but when you have someone speaking to you, like, it's so much more powerful. And that's why I love events, is because it really does allow you to make a massive impact online. And so that's what I just wanted to share with you today. Some of that kind of backstory and why, to me, I care so much about this and I care about making a massive impact, is because you think about it, like, I'm just one person, right? And, over time I'll have a bigger team and things like that. But at the same time, like, when I can help other people do events, like, I'm helping them impact lives, right? Hundreds, thousands of lives or more. And so doing that then allows me to help them do that, which then impacts so many people. And so it's just really fun to think about that, of how we can impact so many lives through events, which is why I love doing them so much. And on that note too, if you didn't hear about it already, so we've got the Massive Impact Challenge starting on Monday, which is going to be super fun. And, talking about how do you do that. I actually, most of it's going to be live. I did a pre-recorded one today, which was really cool. So you want to check that out. But it's just really going to be fun to challenge yourself to say, okay, what are the different ways that I can make a massive impact online? Like, what am I doing right now that maybe I need to keep doing, or what do I need to start doing so that I can make that happen? Is it a challenge? Is it a workshop, a webinar? Is it just better emails? Is it, changing your mindset, or, really speaking to who you are and your beliefs? And so I hope you'll join me, because it's going to be a lot of fun. And if not, that's not a problem at all, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So you should definitely check it out. And really just hope that I can help you to have a massive big impact online. And so with that, all you have to do is go to bit.ly, so bit.ly/massive impact challenge. And you can check that out. So looking forward to having you there. And thanks again for tuning into this as well, because, again, I really care about making massive impact online, because it's something that I've been impacted, right? And so I want to be able to share that. And also, like, back in the day when I first even had thought about entrepreneurship and stuff, like, it's just, I've always been on the camp of, I want to change the world and I want to make a difference, and wake up every day feeling like I can do that. And so that's, through events is a great way to do that, because you can really inspire and uplift people, which is super fun. So thanks again for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.